Yamaha presents the Whitetail Diaries, chronicling hunting adventures of the most plentiful and intelligent big game animal in North America. Join top whitetail hunters nationwide. Embark on the amazing adventure that is hunting the whitetail deer. Well, today's show is all about the hunting graduates of the School of Hard Knocks, and we'll start out with our good friend Kevin Giesecke and his quest to harvest a whitetail with a bow.
I've had the opportunity to travel all over with Kevin, and he's not only a good friend, he's a business partner, and he shot more video of big deer and little deer than anybody I know out there. And this recently, he really become addicted to shooting his bow and wanted to harvest a buck with a bow. You know, and he shot him with a rifle. We've seen him shoot him with a handgun, but a bow is a different deal.
Here's the deal, bow hunting is getting very popular. You see a lot of TV shows that are carrying bow hunting. We're doing more and more bow hunting because it's excitement, it's up close, it is neat. But the guys on TV, they make it look easy.
A bow hunt can get your adrenaline going faster than anything else. I mean, there's so many things that happen in a bow hunt out there and so many things that can go wrong. And as you evolve into a hunter, it's pretty common to see people want to experience that. And Kevin was no different.
From a camera guy's perspective, it's the same. I have to be a little more quiet and I have to make sure I watch my movements, but I'm still the camera guy. So about a year ago, Wade gave me one of his old bows, and so I decided I want to learn how to do it.
With a piqued interest in archery, Kevin headed to the one place he knew would help him develop his skill.
I started shooting last year, knew nothing about it. I walked into the Cabela store and I said, I got this bow. I don't know what to do with it, but I want to learn to shoot it. And so they took me over to their indoor shooting range, and I started, you know, they kind of walked me through. They walked me through how to hold it. They did the whole thing and set up my draw length, and I didn't even know how to set my rest. So they showed me what to do, and I took it home and started playing with it. And let me tell you, bow hunting is a blast. It's something you can do in your backyard if you got enough room. It's something really we're kind of getting the family to do now. I've got a 9-year-old girl. She takes her bow out, teaching her how to shoot. It's a neat thing to do.
Kevin got pretty comfortable with his bow skills, and at deer camp, the guys put him to the test every time they could.
You know, watching Kevin, every time he showed up at the deer camp, he had his bow. He'd be out there shooting his videos, interviewing people, and the next thing you know, he's shooting his bow. He'd talk about shooting his bow in the morning. He was shooting his bow nonstop to the point where nobody wanted to bet dollars at the deer camp, because at the target, man, he's gonna win your dollars.
When we were in camp and we're shooting for fun and shooting targets, I actually held my own, and I was really, really proud of that. These guys have been shooting a long time, and I literally, every day I would shoot my bow. And so by the time deer season rolled around, I was pretty good. I know at 30 yards, I'm gonna hit that target, and 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna hit in the yellow circle of that bull. I'm gonna be real close to it. And so I held my own. Now, take that confidence and put it in a deer stand, totally different story.
After months of getting good at grouping on a target, he was ready to put his bow to the test in the field, and thus began the quest. Fall of 2012, Kevin learned the hard lesson of making sure your arrow is fully nocked.
There's a doe out in front of us, and I pulled back, and that doe stopped right behind a tree, right where I couldn't get a shot. And I held it, and I held it, and I held it, and eventually I'm like, I gotta let off.
That was right on the edge of my shot, man. And I started shaking, trying to hold it.
The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you in part by Yamaha ATVs and side-by-sides, real world tough. Cabela's, it's in your nature. Garmin, the power of simple. And by Nikon Sport Optics.
Get lost in the hunt, not the wilderness. Hunt with Garmin.
Julie Goloski, Smith & Wesson Consumer Program Manager and World Champion Shooter.
Joe Zanetti, Smith & Wesson Finishing Specialist and lifelong hunter.
Jim Dalton, Smith & Wesson Master Gunsmith. I shoot competitively, and so does my son.
Our people, our products, our passion. Smith & Wesson.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. We're on the road with our good friend and Whitetail Diaries crew member, Kevin Giesecke, as he tries to put his stellar archery work to the test in the field.
I'm shooting to the left, but I'm dead on. So that's a dead deer. Everything I'm doing so far, I am learning the hard way. And eventually, Mother Nature lets everything happen and you line up and everything works.
Kevin's quest to take a deer with a bow took a turn for the worse when a perfect 10-point presented Kevin with a shot that will haunt him forever.
I drew back on that deer 4 times. I probably held it on draw. I don't think the camera could see it, but I was on draw for, I'll bet, at least, I don't know, 3-4 minutes. And my arms just went to jello. I slacked off. When I slacked off, at least the deer went away and came back. The last time when I shot, I should not have shot. Well, what do I say? My learning curve continues, and I guess I've shot a lot of bow hunting, but I've got a new appreciation for the guys that are truly hunting with bows. Everybody says, you've been hunting a long time, this happens. It does. I've been with them on camera when it happens, but
changing to the guy holding the bow, it's a different thing. And it was fun to watch Kevin go through all the periods of how many times he'd get drawn back trying to get a shot and the deer would go away. And I mean, I'm impressed with his patience, because a lesser man probably would have crumbled and not even kept going at this point. But Kevin kept trying to get drawn, he kept trying to get going. And then finally, late in the season, we got on a giant that just kind of magically appeared on one of our stands, and all focus began to go towards that big deer.
This is one of those deer that the big guys get to go hunt, in my opinion. Not for the camera guy, but I get the okay to go and hunt this deer. And I mean, he's up biggin'. He's doing what we need him to do. He comes out in range, he doesn't know we're there. He's comfortable, I'm comfortable, everything seems right.
hit him high. We look back at the tape, and I hit him high. It's a kind of a void. Above everything vital and below the spine is kind of where it looked like it hit. I did not make the shot that I wanted to make. This has been a very exciting and frustrating experience so far. So we've had this happen in the past, and the deer that some guys have shot and hit in that similar area, they survived. One deer's pincushion, Wade got him this year, and he actually was hit twice before. So you don't want to make a shot like that, but if I'm going to make a shot like that and I don't find him, I definitely want him to live.
They've actually seen the deer. The deer is going to be fine. But let me tell you, when that happened, I've seen guys get emotional, but I'm always on the camera side. When it happens to you, it'll tear you up. It'll tear you up.
As we've seen on today's show, bow hunting and hunting in general is never as easy as it looks on TV. And even with all the practice in the world, being out in the field with a buck staring directly at you, well, no one is immune to buck fever.
Everybody in camp dubbed my hunt the Quest because I was out there so much trying to make it happen and it just wasn't happening. So it's the quest, and it's still a continuing quest. So I've learned a lot, but I have a lot more to learn. All I can do now off season is I keep shooting, and I have a blast doing it. And you know, we're going to go for next year and try to make it happen. Try to make it happen.
Coming up, Jeff Reynolds has a 150 class buck on his radar, but will he fall short? If you want to see the big deer we're seeing on our properties, it starts with the land. Visit seedcoat.com for the Delta Ag products we use to improve plant performance and draw the big ones in.
My passion is rim fires. Which is why I hold the spot-on advantage. And there are a million more like me, using spot-on to build confidence when shooting farther with more precision than ever before. The next generation of shooting accuracy has arrived. Join us.
After your next successful hog hunt, savor the flavor with a Bradley Smoker. They have a whole list of creative recipes dedicated to pork with a wide variety of delicious smoky wood flavors. Find out more about making your meal as memorable as the hunt at bradleysmoker.com. Unlike farmers, hunters usually only get to plow and plant their food plots on weekends. So the number one complaint is that the plot didn't come up or the stand was thin. Delta Ag has developed a 3-step process that focuses on the soil, seed, and plant. And after many years of real-life situations, Delta Ag has found this concept to be a solid foundation to build crop performance from the ground up. For more information, visit our website at seedcoat.com or see your local dealer.
Faster. Smarter. More powerful.
The new ZX7 processor from Stealth Cam. The game has changed.
After your next successful deer hunt, savor the flavor with a Bradley Smoker. They have a whole list of creative recipes for venison with a wide variety of delicious smoky wood flavors. Find out more about making your meal as memorable as the hunt at bradleysmoker.com. The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you in part by Thompson Center Arms, America's master gun maker. Smith & Wesson, made in the USA since 1852. Do All Outdoors, field-tested, guide-rated gear for the outdoors. Stealth Cam scouting cameras and trail cam technology. Now, before we head out with another Whitetail Diaries crew member for our next hunt, let's take a closer look at what it takes to be a part of our team. The Whitetail Diaries team spends countless hours working to prepare for deer season, and it's something they do all year long. That starts with setting up feeding programs, using the Purina and Feeder Max products, to creating new food plots, both to help keep the deer healthy, but to also provide locations for future hunts. Now, the Whitetail Diaries team additionally spends time in the off-season scouting and creating new locations to provide more hunting opportunities and locations. This year, they're going to also be showing off a new property and are often scouting that area both on their ATVs and side-by-sides, as well as using scouting cameras to see what new opportunities they'll find this year. They're not afraid to go the extra mile in their quest to harvest whitetails, but they also enjoy spending downtime at the camp with friends, clients, and family, as that's just important to them as harvesting a big whitetail. Simply put, the Whitetail Diaries team enjoys the whole aspect of hunting, with everything from their crossbows, rifles, handguns, to traditional modern sporting rifles, while always trying to manage their herd and share their love of pursuing the whitetail deer. If you love whitetail hunting and want to keep up with our adventures here on the show, find a link to our Facebook on whitetaildiaries.com as we all continue the pursuit of the whitetail deer. Back to the hunt. Now, after a call from the Running Bee Ranch came into Wade about a 150 class buck, Wade knew just the guy to call.
We had a chance on a recent hunt that we were on that I had chosen to harvest this big 8-point, and then the landowner came in and says, man, there's this other giant deer that's been showing up over here. I'd really like for you guys to get a shot at it. And I passed on taking that deer. You know, Jeff Reynolds and I go back a long way. Not only have we fished against each other, we fished as team partners and things, and he's a pleasure to always have around the camp. He shoots camera at a lot of our hunts, works tremendously hard on setting up all of our stands, and really focuses on a lot of different things. And little did I know that by me passing on taking that deer, what was going to evolve over that hunt and the months and months to come after that.
We're going out to sit in a box blind this evening. We're overlooking kind of an old field. Just hope we get the right one in, a good mature buck, and see if we can get him on the ground. You know, they had trail camera pictures of this deer. He was a big 9-point, and when they showed us pictures of him, they're like, you know, this is a pretty nice deer, you know. And I'm like, man, this deer is a monster. You know, the biggest deer I've ever killed, you know, I killed a 9-point with a bow in Oklahoma, gosh, back when I was in high school. And it scored, you know, up in the 140s, but I'm not much about the scoring. You know, I know a lot of people are, they want to get right down to the T what it scores. Man, if it looks good to me, I mean, that's all that matters, as long as it's a mature deer. And when I seen the trail camera pictures, I'm thinking, you know, man, I'm actually going to get a chance to hunt this deer. And that's what's really fun to me. Sometimes you get too wrapped up in going after just one deer, but when you know what's out there, you know what's living out there, it's kind of fun to just think, man, you know, boy, if I can get one look at this deer and get a chance at him, that'll be something.
Jeff's hunt was going to be set at the Running Bee, and man, I tell you, our success at the Running Bee has been legendary. My big deer that I shot a couple years ago, Mark Nelson and Giant, I'd shot this big wide 8-point. We'd had some heartbreak there as well. I mean, it's a hunt when you're going to go there. You're going to have some days going empty-handed. And Jeff only had half a day, because we were all moving to another spot. But Kevin stayed behind and Jeff stayed behind, and they hopped in this box blind and got set up for this hunt that they were going to go on. And I mean, magic can happen at a place like that.
You know, when you don't have much time to hunt, you know, just that one evening to hunt, you're sitting there and nothing's going on. I'm thinking, man, you know, just your heart starts sinking in your chest, and you're thinking, it's just not going to happen. You know, it's hot. It's just not the deer's fault. It's not our fault. It's just not going to happen. And one or two deer moving off in the distance, and you know, you're thinking, well, this is pretty much done. And then, you know, that's the way hunting is. You never know when it's going to happen, and all of a sudden, you know, look to your left, and there he stands. You know, like a ghost, he just appears out of nowhere. And man, you talking about the heart gets to racing.
When the Whitetail Diaries returns, the biggest buck of Jeff's life has just entered the building.
Change the game, you make the rules. Introducing the all-new Stealth SS from 10-Point, the most compact crossbow we've ever created. 10-Point, there is no substitute.
I trust this muzzleloader every time, because next time could be that once in a lifetime. It's about that one shot that makes all the time I put in worth it. That one trophy that just consumes your mind. That one moment that didn't get away. When you're a Thompson center hunter and every hunt is a chance to outdo the last, the hunt never ends.
When you change the game, you make the rules. Introducing the all-new Vapor from 10 Point, the most technologically advanced crossbow ever created. 10 Point, there is no substitute.
At Amphibia, we've resolved to build a product that nobody else offers, using methods that nobody else is using, optimized for life on water and land. The choice of top bass fishing pros. Amphibia frames are designed to fit comfortably no matter how your face is shaped, to stay firmly in place through your most physical activities, and to float in water. Amphibia sunglasses are truly designed for life on the water.
Since 1996, Frog Togs outerwear have kept outdoorsmen warm and dry, even in the worst of conditions. Now, Frog Togs have expanded beyond hunting and fishing markets and revolutionized the industry with their patented fabric system. Frog Togs are extremely lightweight and portable. They pack easily in your car, boat, RV, and even on your motorcycle. Best of all, Frog Togs are 100% waterproof and windproof, and yet extremely breathable. Check us out online at frogtogs.com. Frog Togs, stop the rain.
Welcome back to the Whitetail Diaries. We're on the Running V Ranch with Whitetail Diaries friend and crew member Jeff Reynolds, who's been given the green light on a monster 150 class buck that has just entered the field.
Man, we're sitting there, and as it's starting to get late in the evening, look to the left, and there he stands, and I'm thinking, golly, here he is. You know, are we gonna have enough camera light? Is this all gonna happen? Thinking, man, you know, he's gotta move, he's gotta do something. And it seems like eternity that deer's standing there, which probably wasn't 10 seconds, but for me, it felt like it was 2 hours he was standing there. We're sitting there, and all of a sudden, Kevin actually sees another deer down below, and I'm thinking, here's my chance. You know, this deer's gonna see this other one, because it was another mature buck. He's gonna go towards him, and somebody's gonna figure out who the dominant one is in that area. And I'm fixing to get my chance. The meh start getting louder and louder, and finally I think it was a scream that got him. Well, the deer stops and just looks at us, and I'm like, oh man, here's my chance. Don't blow this. That deer takes off and he runs down there, just straight jumps that fence. When he jumps that fence, I'm thinking, that ain't good, because normally, you know, you hit one hard, they're not gonna jump a fence like that. And he jumps that fence and he don't go 10 foot and he stops. And man, I'm watching him with binoculars, and all of a sudden, man, he hits the ground. And let me tell you, I thought I was gonna lose it right there. My heart was going 900 miles an hour, and it was just excitement, you know, total excitement.
I'm shaking so bad. It's the biggest buck I've ever shot. I'm shaking so bad.
This is the biggest deer of my life, and you know, when you watch the footage, you can probably tell. But I get like that on all of them, and man, when he come out, I knew he was, golly, just a monster to me. Man, just excitement. Look at this big boy. Oh man, golly. Running V Ranch, Chris, the guy, man, these guys do an extreme amount of work down here. They manage the deer the right way. the work and the effort they put into growing these deer, I mean, as you can see by this one, and there's a lot more besides this one, trust me. And man, I can't be more appreciative.
When all was said and done, what did Jeff's deer measure?
Jeff's deer scored 149 and 7/8. Not 150, not 149, 149 and 7/8.
That deer actually scored probably roughly around 150. Everybody's gonna say he's 149 and 7/8, but I'm gonna tell you, there ain't nobody perfect enough to get within 1/8 of an inch. So I've always heard you just round them up.
It's still a topic of discussion. More jokes have been played on this 149 and 7/8 reference than I can even remember.
That is a 150-inch deer. That's my first one. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You had, on one hand, you had the quest over here for Kevin that was still ongoing, and on this hand, you had the 149 and 7/8, which is still Jeff's biggest buck. It's not quite 150, but it's still a pretty good deer.
Thanks for watching. Join us next week, won't you, for another exciting entry in the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Want to win a hunt? It's simple. Find Whitetail Diaries on Facebook and click the like button. You can follow along with Wade and the crew in the field and be eligible to win tons of sponsor giveaways and your chance to enter the Win a Hunt with Wade Middleton sweepstakes.
We got to get a shot of this. What is it, Two-Face?